I've been treating men over 60 for more than 3 decades. And if there's one truth I've learned, it's this: most men don't talk about it, but they feel it every single day. That quiet frustration, the subtle shame. It shows up in little moments. Like standing in front of the mirror and thinking, "What happened to me?" Or pretending to be asleep when your wife reaches for you, because you're scared you won't be able to rise to the moment. Some of my patients whisper things like, "I don't feel like a man anymore," or "I avoid intimacy, not because I want to, but because I'm embarrassed." If that's you, I want you to know something. You're not alone. Not even close. Now, here's the part that might surprise you. What if I told you that the key to regaining that energy, that blood flow, that confidence, isn't hiding in some little blue pill or a risky surgery? What if I told you it could start with something as simple as what you eat each morning? Yes, I'm serious. One food, when eaten consistently in the morning, can spark real changes. But not because it's magical. It works because it supports something your body is starving for: nitric oxide. And when you restore your nitric oxide levels, everything changes, especially where it matters most. I want you to stick with me, because what I'm about to share might challenge a lot of what you've been told. But more importantly, it might help you take your first step toward feeling like yourself again. Let me introduce you to one of my former patients, Harold. Harold is 68. Lives in Phoenix. A retired firefighter. Tough as nails on the outside, but when he came into my clinic, he wasn't feeling very strong at all. He said, "Doc, I used to be a furnace. Now I'm just cold down there." He wasn't talking about temperature. He meant his drive. His blood flow. That natural spark that once defined his masculinity. I ran a few tests. And as I suspected, his testosterone levels were normal. That wasn't the issue. His heart was working fine. No major red flags. But when I measured something that most doctors overlook, nitric oxide levels, they were almost non-existent. Nitric oxide is this invisible molecule your body produces. It's like the traffic cop of your circulatory system. When you have enough of it, your blood vessels relax. Blood flows easily. But after 60, your body stops making enough. It's not your fault, it's just biology. And without nitric oxide, blood can't get where it needs to go. Not to your heart, not to your brain, and certainly not to your manhood. Now, Harold had tried medications. They gave him headaches, made his face flush, and frankly, they didn't work well. What finally made the difference was a morning change. He started his day with a glass of water and a serving of leafy greens, particularly arugula. Arugula is rich in natural nitrates, which your body converts into nitric oxide. Within 2 weeks, he told me, "Doc, I woke up with morning wood again. First time in years." And more importantly, he started looking alive again. That spark was back. Let me tell you about someone else, Marcus. He's 73, a retired accountant from Atlanta. He loved his morning coffee and toast. But when I asked him if he'd ever tried adding beets to his breakfast routine, he looked at me like I was crazy. Beets are one of the most powerful nitric oxide boosters in nature, especially when consumed raw or in juice form. I asked Marcus to swap his toast for a small beet smoothie, just a few slices blended with water and lemon. He came back 30 days later and said, "Doc, I feel like my engine isn't sputtering anymore. I'm waking up ready." Now here's the thing. I'm not telling you that beets and arugula are magic. They're not. But what they do is feed your body what it needs to perform as it used to. Your body wants to work. It wants to feel strong. It wants to flood blood where it needs to go. But it needs help, especially after 60. And this next patient proves it. Paul, 66, retired Navy vet. Lives in Michigan. Hadn't been intimate with his wife in 8 months. She thought he'd lost interest. He hadn't, he'd lost confidence. Paul was skeptical about all of this. Greens in the morning, that's not gonna make me a man again. But he agreed to try. I gave him a simple protocol. 1. 8 ounces of water with lemon on waking. This primes digestion and hydration. 2. A morning bowl of spinach, pumpkin seeds, and a sliced banana.
Why?
Because spinach is nitrate-rich. Pumpkin seeds are loaded with magnesium, which helps nitric oxide production. And bananas contain potassium, which supports healthy blood pressure and vessel flexibility. 3 weeks later, his wife sent me a thank you card. Paul hadn't just improved, he had transformed. You see, it's not just about what you eat, it's when and how consistently you support your body's natural systems. Morning is the ideal time to flood your body with nitric oxide precursors, because it sets the tone for the rest of the day. Now, I know what you might be thinking, okay, Doc, these foods sound great. But I've tried diets before. I still feel stuck. And I hear you. That's because we're dealing with a deeper issue. These foods help. They nudge your system in the right direction. But the truth is, after 60, your body is resistant. Years of stress, processed foods, medications, and even just aging. They've drained your nitric oxide stores and made your blood vessels stiff. And stiff vessels mean poor blood flow, period. That's the real root of the problem, not low testosterone, not aging per se, not even stress alone. It's the loss of flexibility in your blood vessels. When those vessels can't expand properly, blood can't surge where you need it most. That's why your mind might still want intimacy, but your body just doesn't follow through. And that's where most advice falls short. They tell you to exercise, eat well, maybe take a little pill before bed. But they ignore the core issue. The biological switch for blood flow, nitric oxide, isn't even being flipped on in your body. Let me give you a final example. Daniel, 71 years old. From Portland. A retired jazz musician. Smooth, confident, or at least he used to be. When he sat down with me, his voice dropped. He said, "Doc, I'm embarrassed. I used to perform every night. Now I can't even perform for my wife." His cholesterol and blood pressure were fine. His hormones were decent. But when we tested his endothelial function, that's the health of the lining of his blood vessels, it was poor. His nitric oxide levels were flatlining. So we tried something different. Instead of piling on medications, we focused on repairing that inner lining. We used diet, yes, beetroot, leafy greens, citrulline-rich foods like watermelon. But we also added targeted support to activate the nitric oxide pathway fully. Daniel's results? It's like the music came back, he told me. Not just in the bedroom, but in life. I feel awake again. Stories like these are why I keep doing what I do. Because too many good men are walking around thinking they're broken. They're not. They're simply starved of what their body used to make naturally, nitric oxide. And while food is a phenomenal start, and I do want you to start adding these foods in the morning, we also have to face the truth. For most men over 60, food alone isn't enough. That's because your body isn't converting nitrates and amino acids into nitric oxide as efficiently anymore. It's like trying to build a house with rusty tools. You might have the materials, but you can't use them well without restoring your internal systems. This is where I want to introduce you to a concept I call the blood flow restoration protocol. It's not a diet. It's not a quick fix. It's a targeted way to help your body reboot its ability to produce and use nitric oxide effectively, every single day. And yes, part of that includes foods like arugula, beets, spinach, watermelon, and even dark chocolate. But the foundation is activating the nitric oxide pathway fully, something I walk through step by step in a free presentation I created. You'll find the link to that in the description. I highly recommend you check it out when this video ends. Because if you're serious about reclaiming your energy, your vitality, your manhood, you can't rely on guesswork. You need a plan that works with your biology, not against it. Now, I want to leave you with this, a reminder that might just be the most important thing I've ever told a patient. You are not past your prime. You are not broken. You do not have to accept this slow decline as your new normal. You're still here. And that means your body can still heal, adapt, and recover if you give it the right tools. I've seen men who thought they'd never feel strong again, completely transform their lives. And it always starts with one decision. One moment where they say, "Enough. I want my life back." If that's you, if you're tired of feeling like a shadow of yourself, then take this seriously. What you eat in the morning, how you move your body, how you support your blood flow, these things matter. They are not small. They are foundational. And if you're ready to go deeper, If you want to understand exactly how to restore your circulation and nitric oxide production at the root level, then I've put together a powerful presentation that walks you through everything. You'll find the link below this video. It could be the most important thing you do for your health this year. But before you click away, I want to speak to your heart, not just your biology. I've met men who've climbed mountains, built businesses, raised families, served their country, and yet they come into my office feeling defeated, simply because their body isn't responding like it used to. Let me tell you something. You haven't lost your worth. You haven't lost your masculinity. And you certainly haven't lost your right to feel proud of who you are. What's happening inside your body is not your fault. It's chemistry. It's time. It's a natural shift, but it's not irreversible. And once you understand how to work with your biology, instead of against it, your life can change in ways you thought were behind you. Imagine waking up with energy again, feeling alive before your feet even hit the floor. Imagine walking into your kitchen, starting your day with a small ritual that you know is restoring your inner fire. Imagine holding your partner, not with hesitation, but with confidence, because your blood flow is no longer working against you, but for you. This isn't a fantasy. This is what happens when you take back control of your nitric oxide production and your circulation. It's what happens when you stop masking symptoms and finally address the root cause. So here's what I want you to do next. Go to the link in the description. Watch the free presentation I created for men just like you. It walks you through the exact process I use with my private patients to restore blood flow where it counts. It's simple. It's science-backed. And most importantly, it works. This is your moment. Not next week. Not when you feel like it. You deserve to feel like a man again. You deserve to wake up proud of the man you see in the mirror. And you deserve to enjoy the second half of life fully, with strength, energy, and passion. So take that first step. Click the link. Watch the presentation. And give your body the help it's been quietly begging for all along. I'm Dr. Miles, and I believe in you. Let's get your blood flowing again, right where it counts.